Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about nonverbal communication. This is an important topic because communication is not just about the words we say, but also about how we use our body to express message. First, let's talk about the role of body language in effective communication. Body language includes gesture, posture, facial expression, and eye contact. It helps us emphasize our message and sometimes speaks louder than words. For example, if someone stands straight with their shoulder back and hand up, they appear confident. But if they show or look down, it shows insecurity or lack of interest. That's why body language is very important to make our communication clear and confident. Second, we can use facial expression, hand gesture, and eye contact to support our message. For instance, when we're happy, we naturally smile, and that smile makes our feel welcome. If we're aspiring something completed, using hand gesture can help, like showing the size of something with our hand or pointing in a direction. Eye contact is also powerful. When we maintain eye contact with the audience, we show confidence and respect. But if we avoid eye contact, it might seem like we're nervous or not telling the truth. For example, imagine you're giving a speech. If you look down and you're not the whole time, your audience may lose interest. But if you look up and make eye contact with different people, they will include and engaged. Lastly, let's discuss nonverbal etiquette in different speaking situations. Every situation needs a right nonverbal behavior. For example, in a formal meeting, it's better to use controlled gesture, keep good posture, and avoid too many emotional expressions. But if you're talking with friends, you can be more relaxed, use bigger gesture, and smile more often. Also, we must be aware of cultural difference. For example, in some cultures, too much eye contact can be seen as rude, while in others it's just respect. In conclusion, nonverbal communication is essential for effective communication. By using body language, facial expression, and gesture and eye contact properly, we can deliver our message more clearly and confidently in different situations. Okay, next, let's talk about pronunciation and intonation practice. This is very important because how we pronounce words and use our voice can change the meaning of what we say. First, let's talk about practicing correct pronunciation and intonation. Pronunciation means saying the word correctly, while intonation is about how our voice goes up and down when we speak. For example, when we say a question, our voice usually goes up at the end. Are you okay? But it's a statement, the voice gets down. I'm okay. Let's practice some pronouns with correct pronunciation. I, you, he, she, it, we, they. Make sure to say each word clearly. For example, he is he, she is she, and they is they. Now let's use these pronouns in short sentence. I love reading. You look great today. He plays guitar. She likes dancing. It is raining. We are studying English. They are going to the market. Second, let's focus on stress, pitch, and rhythm. Stress in making one part of a word stronger. For example, teacher. Stress on the first syllabus. Pronunciation. Stress on the three syllables. If we stress the word syllabus, it can sound strange or confusing. Pitch is how high or low our voice is. For example, He did it. Normal statement. He did it. Which goes up to show surprise. Written is about the flow of the sentence. English has a natural rhythm with stressed and unstressed words. For example, I want to go to school. Stressed words is want, go, school. Lastly, let's talk about overcoming accent and improving pronunciation. It's okay to have an accent, but we can work on clear pronunciation by practicing every day. Listen to native speakers, repeat after them, and record your voice. Focus on trick sounds like in they and in this. We can also practice pronouns in different types of sentence. He is taller than me. She'll told me the story. They invited us in their house. We will help you tomorrow. I think it's beautiful. By repeating the sentence with the right pronunciation, stress, pitch, and rhythm, we can improve our speaking skills. In conclusion, practicing pronunciation in intonation helps us speak more clearly and naturally. By focusing on pronouns and using them in different sentences, we can build better fluency and confidence. Okay, next, I'm going to talk about group discussion and collaborative speaking. This is an important skill because in many situations we need to work with others to share ideas, solve problems, and make discussion together. First, let's talk about technique for speaking in a group, sharing opinions, negotiating, and reaching an agreement. When we are in a discussion, it's important to express our opinions clearly and respectfully. For example, you can say, in my opinion, we should choose option A because it's more practical. I believe this idea will help us finish the project faster. When we don't agree with someone, we need to negotiate politely. For example, I understand your point, but I think we should also consider the budget. That's a good idea, but what if we try another approach? To reach an agreement, we can use phrases like, let's vote on it. Can we all agree on the solution? I'm happy to compromise if everyone agrees. Second, let's discuss the roles of each member in a group discussion. In a group discussion, different members have different roles. Some common rules are leader of facilitator, guides the discussion and keeps it on track. Note taker writes down important points and discussion. Timekeeper make sure discussion stays within the time limit. Participants share ideas and listen to others. For example, the leaders may say, okay everyone, let's start by sharing our ideas. The note taker may ask, can you repeat the point so I can write it down? And the timekeeper may remind, we have 5 minutes left to discuss. Lastly, let's talk about simulation and group discussion. In a simulation, we can practice how to speak, listen, and respond in a group setting. For example, image your discussion which project topic to choose. One person may say, I think we should choose environmental issue because it's very relevant today. Another person can respond, that's a great point, but I prefer talking about technology trends. Then the leader can guide the discussion by saying, let's list the pros and cons of each topic before we engage. In a simulation, it's important to practice taking turns, respecting other opinions, and working together to find the best solution. In conclusion, group discussion requires clear communication, cooperation, and respect for different rules. By practicing sharing opinion, negotiation, and faction agreements, we can become more effective speakers in a chat. Next, let's talk about public speaking. Speaking in front of an audience can be challenging, but with preparation and practice, we can do it well. First, let's talk about preparation and technique for public speaking. Before giving a speech, it's important to prepare the content, organize the structure, and practice delivery. We should also know our audience so we can choose the right language and examples. For example, if I'm speaking to student, I will use simple and relatable examples. Some techniques for effective public speaking include making eye contact with the audience, use clear and loud voice, use gesture to emphasize voice. Second, we need to know how to manage anxiety and build confidence. Feeling nervous is normal. It's normal, but we can control it by practicing breathing exercises, preparing well, and thinking positively. For example, before speaking, take a deep breath and tell yourself, I can do this. Practice in front of a friend or a mirror also helps build confidence. Lastly, we need to practice speaking in front of an audience with a relevant topic. You can start by talking about simple topics like your hobby or daily activities. For example, today I want to talk about why I love reading novels. Reading helps me relax and read knowledge. By practicing often, we will feel more comfortable and confident speaking in public. Okay, now we've reached the final part of my video. Conclusion and review. This part is not only about summarizing what we've learned, but also understanding why these skills are important and how they can help us in the future. Talk learning, we have explored several key topics: nonverbal communication, pronunciation and intonation practice, group discussion, and collaborative speaking and public speaking. Each of these topics plays a very important role in developing our speaking abilities, especially when using English as a second language. First, nonverbal communication teaches us the communication is not only about words. Our body language, facial expression, and eye contact also send message. For example, when we smile, we show friendliness. When we avoid eye contact, we may seem unsure or nervous. By being aware of our nonverbal signal, we can communicate more effectively and make our message clearer to the other. Second, pronunciation and intonation practice remind us that how we say something is just as important as what we say. Good pronunciation helps others understand us easily, and poor intonation shows emotion and meaning behind our words. If we stress the word syllable or using the word pitch, our message might be misunderstood. Therefore, practicing pronunciation, stress, and writing is essential to sound more natural and confident in English. Third, group discussion and collaborative speaking help us learn how to interact with others in a respectful and productive way. In real life, we often need to work in teams, share opinions, and make discussions together. This skill teaches us to listen actively, respect different viewpoints, negotiate politely, and reach agreements. By practicing discussion, we not only improve our speaking but also our teamwork and problem-solving skills. Fourth, public speaking shows us how to deliver our message to a bigger audience with confidence and clarity. Speaking in a public can be scary, but by learning how to properly manage anxiety and practicing in front of the other, we can build courage and improve our communication. Public speaking is not just for formal speeches, it's usually in everyday situations, like giving a presentation in class or sharing ideas in a meeting. Looking at this topic, we can see that learning to speak well in English is not only about grammar or vocabulary. It's about combining verbal and nonverbal communication, practicing pronunciation and intonation, working well with others, and being able to express ideas clearly in different situations. Moving forward, we need to create a plan to continue improving our speaking skills. For example, we can practice speaking English every day, join English speaking clubs, watch and mimic English videos, or even record ourselves and listen back to improve. We also need to be aware of the challenge we face, such as nervousness, fear of making mistakes, or limit vocabulary, but we should remember every mistake is a chance to learn, and every small step is progress. In conclusion, developing our speaking skills is a continuous journey. By practicing what we've learned, nonverbal communication, pronunciation, group discussion, and public speaking, we can become more confident, effective, and express speakers, not only in English but in any language we ask. Thank you all very much for your attention. This is all for me, and see you next video. Bye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.